Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. I want to talk about real estate, local SEO, and some tips that you guys can consider making to your profile to get more impressions, better rankings, more website clicks, hopefully phone calls and bookings so you get more business. So the keyword here is real estate brokers near me. I chose this keyword specifically because near me is going to be extremely powerful to rank for because if you are, let's say, a renter and you're looking to buy your first home, you might want to meet with a broker directly face to face. You have probably a lot of questions. You want to build up that chemistry between yourself and the broker. Near me, it's quite important because obviously you want to work with somebody who's nearby to where your location is. So this is actually I would say one of the biggest keywords to really rank for to get the most impressions and best leads for your business. So these top three listings over here, this is the map pack. This is the share of local voice. These are the dots 1, 2, and 3 of a heat map. So if I search directly in, let's say, downtown Saratoga Springs, this is what shows up. What I did was I ran the keyword scan within local Falcon just before I recorded this at 2:50. And you can see there's over 100 businesses that are competing for this keyword within a 6-mile radius of a 9x9 within Saratoga Springs. So it's actually really competitive. Um, what I can do over here is I can click on any listing and I can see exactly how they rank. So basically, again, those green are the dots in those areas. If you search for real estate brokers near me, you'll find this particular listing. If you go to the next account, it keeps changing. This is a descending order of who's ranking in the best. The listing that I want to share is called High Rock Realty. I just chose this at random, but I think this is a good listing to talk about what they can do potentially better so they can get more impressions and better rankings and hopefully more business as well. So I'm going to compare their listing against my listing to kind of show the side by side with that. So this is their Google business profile. Let's start off with their reviews. So first is their most, actually let's go to newest. Their newest review came in 6 months ago. It's good that they are responding to the reviews, but I always say that if you're able to reach out to your current, portfolio of customers or clients, see if they can leave a review. I've been noticing also for real estate, what they will do is they'll actually have a QR code on their business card that go directly to their Google business profile. So if you're working with somebody, you can leave a review. That is critical. Freshness of reviews is a ranking factor. That's one. Second is their primary category is real estate agency in North Boston Spa. You can actually play around with different categories to see, if you add a secondary category to your profile, would that help your rankings? Now, there's actually many things that are missing on their profile. So I'm going to do a side-by-side iRock Realty and TM Blast. Next, things that are missing. Notice how on my profile, I have a big blue book online button and they don't. For real estate agents, this is a huge opportunity. I'm going to show you why. So if I go into the more businesses over here, I want to show you. If I scroll down, there's only one listing over here. I'll minimize this so you can see this better. There's only one listing over here that has a scheduled button. Every other listing does not. So pretend that I am, again, a renter looking to potentially buy my first home in 2025 or 2026. I'm busy during the day. I can't really make phone calls. However, I see one listing that actually allows me to schedule perhaps a one-on-one session with a broker to go over my goals and everything else like that. That's going to stand out. That's actually what's going to get a lot of the impressions and also more importantly the activity on it. So the schedule button is quite important. Again, I'll do the side by side just to kind of show you what I mean by that. So let's go back to their listing over here on the left and my listing over here. The book online button, that is with a third-party tool on a Google Reserve website. So it's an official booking part of my profile. So Google added the book online button there. I recommend all real estate agents do the same. Okay, so we talked about book online. That's great. Next, let's go over the questions and answers that are missing. So I have 6 questions on mine, and basically my questions are things I get from current clients or even potential clients as well. I ask and then I answer them. So on your profile, you don't have any. I would do that. I would go and say, okay, things like, hey, like what do I need to know about being like a first time homeowner? How much is the broker fee? How do you work with, like whatever. You probably get a million questions that are always relatively the same. You want to ask them directly into your profile as the question and answer. Next, what's also missing on their profile. So I'll go down over here. I have this description. It says from TM Blast. I think it's up to 750 characters you can work with. You can see on their account, they don't have that. So their description really should be like, talk about the keywords of real estate broker. They should talk about residential and commercial. They should talk about the areas that they service. They should talk about how many years they've been in business. These are all signals for Google to rank this account a little bit better. It's just a missed opportunity right there. And then finally, the other missed opportunity is that they don't have any updates. So updates are these sections that I'm actually scrolling through over here. These are things that are new with your business you want to share. What I would do if I was, let's say, working on the real estate account, share photos of, like a new property, either listed or a property that's sold, or you might say, hey, we're going to be in Glens Falls, or we're going to be in Boston Spa, or Saratoga, or Clifton Park, wherever it's going to be. Make that update and share the photo because it's going to show us a freshness. Plus, also when you use the towns and cities that you service nearby, that's going to be a ranking factor as well. One thing I can't see in their profile because I don't have access to this, I can't see their service areas, but I'll go into mine. So I had a profile over here. You have up to 20 that you can list. So I always recommend look at the heat map from local Falcon and then see what towns and cities that you service. I spoke with a real estate agent who just said it's just at Saratoga Springs, New York. And I asked him, I said, well, what, do you do business in do you, like Wilton? Do you do business in Clifton Park? Do you do, Mechanicville, all these different towns? He's like, yeah. And I said, well, then put it in your service areas because, some people are living in, let's say, a town or two away from Saratoga who want to move there, and vice versa. Maybe somebody who's in Saratoga is like, I really want to get out of Saratoga. I want to be up more north. List out those service areas. That's going to make a difference as well. All right. So we talked about that. Let's do a little bit of bonus as well. So let's talk about the AI mode over here. So I'm going to actually go back. I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm seeing this more and more with how people are searching. So AI mode may show up or may not within your typical Google search. So I'm going to do one live right now. We're going to look at this together. So a lot of times when I look at this, you have to look at the sites on the right-hand side of where they're getting their information. So I can see things like Times Union. I can see Business Journal, Zillow. We also got a few other sites as well. So these are all the local businesses that are being featured. Of course, we have the map pack over here. That's important. You obviously want to get featured in there, and that comes from your Google business profile. But I would actually look at these third-party sites and say, can I be listed on Times Union for my real estate agency or as like a personal broker myself? Can I get featured on there? Talk about maybe first tips for a homeowner to like what they need to know about interest rates or what they need to know about escrow or anything else like that. That might be a good place to get started. Finally, let's go back to the regular Google search. Okay, so we talked about real estate brokers near me. Look at these third-party sites. So I would really recommend that, we talk about your business profile and you want to do things on that, but you really want to be on Yelp, you want to be on realtor.com, and you definitely want to be on Saratoga.com. So if I click on, let's say, Saratoga.com, I'm just curious what's going to show up. So here's all the real estate agents that do show up over here. Oh, that's kind of interesting. But then it completely drops off. So what I would recommend is get a feature listing up here at the very top. I think that would be important. Obviously, you can then have the call to actions like visit website, call, email us. This listing here shows up at the very top of page 1 of Google when you search for real estate brokers near me. This would be a high quality directory link to get on. And I'm sure there's some more ways you can utilize this particular directory listing to have, let's say, be featured on a newsletter, social media blast, or maybe even a direct mailer too. So anyway, those are just some tips that I would, personally do. As I said, I think there's, you can obviously start with the heat map, which we went over here. You can get the booking online. You can expand your, description. You can get more reviews. You can respond to them. You can add questions to answers. You can have updates of your business. And then, of course, you can get on third-party sites like Times Union or also Saratoga.com to help be featured either in the AI overview or to be featured on another high-quality directory to get more leads for your business. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions and stay tuned for the next one.